González Janón, ¿lo he dicho bien? Global Safety Manager de Heineken. And last but not least, I want to introduce you Mr. Reyes González Janón, Global Safety Manager of Heineken.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to use the translation. I know that some of you are not very handy with English, so I apologize for that, but it's so late already. You are so tired, I am tired. I already took 3 flights just to get here. In Madrid, I want to do as short as possible, and then we can enjoy dinner, and if you have questions, we can do it on one-on-one. Is that a good deal? Yeah? We'll make a deal. Okay, great, so I have 5 minutes. I will try to make it in 3. I do believe that companies like Heineken, multinationals with a unique footprint, we have presence in all the countries in the world, except those where are absolutely prohibited to sell alcohol, for instance, or we have a lot of security issues that we cannot just operate there. We have the responsibility to be a role model for other companies. We have the responsibility to, to liaise with the governments, with agencies, with anybody to really improve the safety performance and ensure that this is a worldwide concern, because according to the ILO, every 15 seconds, 1 worker dies in the world. It's just amazing. Make the numbers. Per year, millions of people are dying because you want to do the work. And the safety is the most basic human right. So we need to guarantee a safe workplace, and everybody has the right to come back home safely at the end of the day. So, you remember the big accident, I think one of it was disasters in the world, that happens in Mexico, in the Gulf of Mexico, British Petroleum, Horizon platform, yeah?
Yes.
You know what they were celebrating 1 hour before the explosion? Just 1 hour before. They were celebrating 7 years without a lost time injury. So they have a big party. And part of the agenda of that big party was to celebrate the graph that was showing that for 7 years they have 0 accidents. And we have talked a lot in previous presentations about 0 accidents, right? So that for me, at least, was a game changer. So as a health and safety professional in 2011, I started thinking, okay, right, all our KPIs, all our indicators, are just measuring results. So I don't want to gamble with safety. I don't want to be saved by accident. I don't want to have any bravery in the world that is just looking about the rate and not working proactively to really link the behaviors with the results. So that was a game changer. This is one of the things that I want to share with you as a best practice. Because when I compare a benchmark with other companies and they are still just linking KPIs to results, so just measuring what you're going to achieve, I think it's a practice that wastes time and money, and that you're gambling with people. That's what I also try to say to my peers. What we do in Heineken is that all my KPIs are linked to the behaviors. So what you actually have to do from the top of the organization, from the last employee on the shop floor, to get that desired result. And I can tell you, it works. Why? Because we are applying the science of behavior analysis. So no more lectures, no more, consultant companies sharing me ideas or solutions. I want to go to science. It's the only thing that really proves that really works. We invest in science for many areas of my company. We should invest in science also for safety. The second thing I want to say is about training. We have talked about safety training and how important it is for everyone. Well, most of the training are just measuring the number of hours that you are attending. And then you believe that I get my certificate, and then after the training, I'm pretty safe. Well, maybe that lasts for, 1 month, 2 months. After that, the employee will come back to the previous behavior and safe behavior. So what we do in Heineken is that my trainings are linked to the fluency. So let's say I train you, and then I'm going to measure if after the training you can do exactly the job much safer in a period of time, in a constant period of time. And that's what I'm measuring. And I can tell you, that is another game changer. And that's something that I try to influence also other companies when we benchmark, for example, with the best practices in the European Union Health and Safety Agency, or when I'm attending all the other events. And then the last thing I want to share with you is something that really freaked me out. I'm going to say something maybe it's controversial, but you know me, so I'm always controversial. So this is the thing. I heard before something about bonus, right? The bonus thing. Okay. Well, seriously. When you link it, a bonus, an award, to results, so if at the end of the year I reduce my accident frequency rate, or if at the end of the year I get 0 accidents, Reyes Gonzalez is going to take a bonus, I'm going to tell you that is another practice that is wasting your time and your money and you're gambling with safety. Why? Because if you do that, or if you talk about that, you are provocating that companies, for example, can have 3 scenarios. First scenario, well, I do nothing. I just do nothing and I can be very lucky. And then at the end of the year I get my bonus, like British Petroleum for 7 years. So you are rewarding and reinforcing at-risk behavior about doing nothing. And giving me something for nothing, I think I call it a gift, not a bonus. Second scenario. Well, I tried, more or less, but I have a minor accident. Shoot. So, well, if I report it, I'm not going to get the bonus. But I know that Dietmar, in his department, he underreported last year. So, well, it's very tempting, because I won the bonus. So then, more and more, you're reinforcing the underreporting culture for minor things. And then you're not reinforcing the right behavior for doing the right activities to get that result, the right behaviors. And then the third scenario, of course, is the one that I really work very hard, and I do everything that I have to do with my team, and I achieve the result. But it's so tricky that my recommendation to you, and something that I convinced and now is working in Heineken, is that any bonus, any award has to be linked to the results. From the top of the organization, what you have to do from the leaders, supervisors, frontline employees to get that 0 accident. And that's what we reward, the behaviors. So you're so tired, I'm very sorry. So let's hope that we can enjoy a lovely dinner together, and thank you so much.
And now, our President Ismael is going to close the act. Now, Ismael, me pones palabras para cerrar el acto. Gracias.
Muchas gracias a todos. Solo deciros que todo esto se lo debo al equipo que hemos montado. Tenemos un grupo fantástico y es el grupo lo que hay que conseguir. Vamos a disfrutar de la cena. Gracias.